May the 12th be with you.
Thank you.
How are you? How is quarantine life treating you? What is your day looking like?
Well, it's so surreal. I've never forgotten what day of the week it is more often than since we've been shut down. But, I'm sort of reclusive anyway, so part of me can appreciate it, but I can understand if people are just going stir crazy.
Yeah, well, you do a lot of voice work, and you're one of my favorites. You're my favorite Joker. Are you able to work from home, or how is that working?
Well, I'm working from home right now, speaking with you.
We are Zooming.
Yeah, so far I haven't done, let's see, I did a couple of voiceover things, but they were mostly for videos like thanking the first responders and that sort of thing, but no proper cartoons yet. There's a new Joker. They have this series Harley Quinn, and there's the whole cast has been rebooted because my Batman is Kevin Conroy. If Kevin's not doing it, at this point we're like Laurel and Hardy.
Right.
Because when they ask, do you want to do the Joker, I say, is Kevin in it? If they say yes, I say yes.
Yeah. Have you checked out that new show? Do you like it?
I haven't seen it yet. I've seen clips, and it looks really good. My only problem is that it looks so appealing, colors and the characters. It would really appeal to young children, but they're apparently dropping F-bombs, and it's definitely X-rated and for adults. So I know that if I were 8 years old, I'd be really mad my parents wouldn't let me watch it.
Yeah, I think that they make fun of the Snyder Cut stuff and the people that don't like The Last Jedi and all that stuff, and they drop.
Is that right? Oh,
yeah,
I'll have to check it out. Like I say, I've seen clips, and I worked with Kaylee on one episode of The Big Bang, and she's adorable. So I'll have to check it out.
I can see by the look on your face. You weren't ever expecting to see me again.
You can see by the look on my face, I haven't got a clue who you are.
Well, you are guest starring in one of the best comedies that's out right now, What We Do in the Shadows. And I mean, how did you get involved in the first place? Were you a big fan of the show? How did this come together?
I was a mad fan of the film. And when I heard they were going to do a television series, I thought, well, Jermaine and Taika are involved, but behind the scenes. So I sort of lowered my expectations. I thought, well, there's no way it can be as good as the feature film. And I saw that first episode. I was just blown away. It expands on the idea. There's all new characters. The concept of an energy vampire, that I'd never heard before.
Yeah.
And we've all met energy vampires in our lives, so it has a ring of truth to it. But I was tweeting about it to try and, tell my followers, I love the show, you should watch this show, mostly from a selfish standpoint, because everything I like seems to get canceled. I'm still mad they canceled The Kids Are All Right. That was my favorite show last season, having grown up in a large family, with a Roman Catholic father. It seems so real to me. So I was really upset. And with Shadows, I was trying to hopefully get people to watch it. It wasn't like I was trying to offer myself to be on the show. I'm happy to be just in the audience.
Well, and then they reach out to you and they're like, hey, come on in.
Yeah, they did. And when they sent me the script, I thought for sure, I'm going to be like the head of the PTA, or I'm going to be working at the Department of Motor Vehicles. When I saw that they were wanting me to play the character called the Vampire, I just couldn't believe it. I thought, oh my gosh, I love a challenge. I've got to do this.
I loved, when you see that first look, because, so many people are so used to seeing you as Luke Skywalker, and then you've got this white hair and got this totally different look. What was it like kind of putting that look on?
Well, it's very collaborative. I mean, we had discussions about the wardrobe was pretty much their decision. The sort of old school European robes and whatnot. But with hair, I thought, I'm going to be doing a sort of my Bela Lugosi. So I was thinking slick back, dark hair. And the hair person showed me that blonde wig. Well, we tried it both ways, and the director came in and looked, and she goes, look, I want you to be happy. You decide. And it took me a while, but then I realized when am I going to have long flowing white hair? Like never.
Maybe soon.
Don't rush me.
If Mary Lou doesn't cut it, then.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I was, as it turns out, I think the hairdresser was right. She was really favoring the long flowing white locks, and that's what we went with.
I love it. Now, who was on set when you were there? Were Jermaine and Taika there?
Jermaine was, and he was there the first night. Taika was obviously busy with other things, but that first scene, I don't know whether you've seen it yet, but my story mostly involves my character and Laszlo, played by Matt Berry.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when I arrive at the house, the entire cast was there. Nadia and Nandor and Guillermo and Colin Robinson and Matt. So it was great that I had at least one scene with the whole cast, because like I say, I'm just such a fan, and they're all so good. Just one of the best ensembles, and I didn't have a lot to do with the main cast other than Matt, like I say.
Right.
But I don't want to give too much away.
Right. Well, considering you are such a fan, I'm curious your thoughts about Taika is now directing a Star Wars movie that was announced, I think last week.
I saw that, when franchises collide, huh?
Right?
Well, I'd love to work with him, but unfortunately, my Star Wars days are over. But like I say, there's so many stories they can tell, so many talented actors and writers and directors that now I can be just a fan, and I am a fan. So I'll always be partial to any Star Wars project.
Yeah. Have you
this time in the audience?
This time in the audience. I mean, has that been exciting for you? Have you been checking out things like The Mandalorian? What are you binging from home?
Yeah, my son said, "Dad, you got to watch Mandalorian." And again, I thought this is so smart of them to make it minimalist, where you can focus on the characters and the story. And the advantage they have is they don't have to deliver a epic special effects extravaganza. They can really hone in on the smaller stories. And I thought it's very much in the spirit of what George wanted originally. And I just thought it was superb. It was so well done.
Have you heard the rumor that Boba Fett might be in the new season, therefore having survived the Sarlacc pit?
No, I thought he was decades into being digested at this point. But I mean, it takes place, I guess, after Return of the Jedi and before the sequel. So,
yeah,
like I say, there's so many ways they can go. But those two, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, I worked with, they're both just the right person in the right job, because they know it better than I do, because that's their I'm one of these people where, I don't go back and watch the old films, and fans will come up to me and ask me these questions, and I have no idea what they're talking about.
I can't imagine. I think about that with all the actors all the time, especially Harrison being like, I don't care.
Well, you can get away with that because people expect Harrison to be irreverent.
Yeah.
I expect it's supposed to be more sincere, and they'll ask some really good questions. They'll say something like, one person said to me, "Why doesn't R2-D2 with his memory banks just tell Luke that Darth Vader is his father?" And I thought, no, I have no idea. That's a good question, because he would know, but it wouldn't be as dramatic if he went beep boop beep boop boop boop, boop, and I said, "What?"
Yeah, that's
the way they did it was much better.
Well, it's such a crazy time right now. I know people are feeling anxious, and you've been one of those kind of positive voices on the Twitters that I've been following. How do you keep this positive attitude right now?
Well, you've got to. I mean, you can't give in to despair. It's the old fighting spirit, nothing can defeat us. And we're all in this together, as the hashtag reads. And I really believe that. I think Americans are, and people around the world they have to face the challenge, because there's no alternative.
Well said. Now you have What We Do in the Shadows under your belt now. Do you have like a dream guest starring role of shows or movies that are out right now? Is there anything that you really?
Gee,
Let's put it into the universe.
I don't really think that way. I mean, like I say, I mean, I was surprised that even Star Wars came back, because I thought even if it comes back, it's not going to involve our characters. It'll be all new characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy just to see what comes along. I mean, What We Do in the Shadows was unexpected, but it's not like I have a bucket list of, oh, I want to play Hamlet and I want to be in the movie version of Hamilton, or
Yeah.
That's just not the way I think. I mean, but it's always a pleasant surprise when people want you to come out and do something.
Well, you're one of the best, so if you want it, you probably got it.
Shucks.